Hello, welcome to JasonChats.com. This is going to be a quick, I don't know what's going on with my mouth, but when I go like that, quick, I think Andre's about to fart again. Andre, whenever I go quick, I whistle, a bit like the pervert in Family Guy. Well, no, I don't mean to do it, it just seems to happen. So I don't know why. Anyway, this is going to be a quick one. See, did it again? Quick one. I got up at 8 o'clock this morning, way too early. And I went into town. The bus was late, but it's okay. I got into town and I went to this volunteers meeting thing. Now, I thought it was just so I could see or meet some people who were looking for volunteers. That's what I thought it was. I was going to go there, like a job fair, like a volunteer fair, that kind of thing. And I knew that there was going to be a lady from the hospice there, so I was kind of up for going and seeing what is available and what I can do to help and stuff. So I get there and we're in this room, and it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 11 or 12 people, including the bloke that was speaking, who was running the group. It turns out it wasn't a volunteer fair. There wasn't various different people from different charities there. There was one person from the hospice, and it wasn't about her. It was about this course. It was actually a course that the Volunteer Bureau was running. It didn't tell me it was a course. It was a one-day course. And they were holding it in order to raise money and get money from the government to show that people had turned up, and I had to fill a form in. That was pretty much what it was about. It was about them ticking boxes and getting funding, which is fine, but I felt it was under false pretenses that I was called there. It's like turning up for a prize, Timeshare used to do this, and they'd phone people up or they'd send a letter through the post to people and saying, come along, you've won a car. And people would go along, and then they get told that they might have won a car, but they've won something, but it might not be a car. And my lip is peeling. Anyway, I know this because I actually worked in timeshare for a short while, and I was one of the salespeople trying to sell people timeshare. And one couple actually turned up, and they came by train, expecting to pick up their car and drive home in the car that they thought they'd won. And they travelled from the other side of the country. So yeah. Anyway, this is what I felt like. I feel a little bit like I travelled from the other side of the country to pick up a car. But there was no car. I'm not my best at that time in the morning anyway. It was quite early. But when I sat down and I realised that they wanted me to fill forms in, I don't like filling forms in anyway. So I went along with it and I just did the minimum that I could do as far as filling the forms in. And the bloke that was running it kept talking over people, and he was very impatient. So he said, everyone, we should all introduce yourselves. The first person starts talking and he starts introducing himself. And the bloke in charge, whatever his, I don't know if I don't know his name, was hurrying him up. And now to the next person. And he said this phrase at least 3 times. Let's try and keep it positive. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Let's try and keep this positive. So the first person spoke. He said a bit about his life, a bit about why he was there. When he came to the second person, he said, right, let's tell me why you're here in 30 seconds. Because the first person went on too long. And the second person probably spent maybe 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes talking. Then he asked her questions. Then he came to the third person. 30 seconds. And I think he even said 30 seconds, but she talked, not for long. Came to me. And he was rushing it. Okay, yeah, next. So Jason, 30 seconds, what brought you here? I said, okay, right, so I'm gonna tell you my life story in 30 seconds. And 30 seconds isn't enough. It's enough time, not even enough time to really describe a bowel movement. Never mind what life events brought me to apply for a charity voluntary position. There's more than just like a couple of words to say, but anyway, I started talking, saying I hadn't worked for 4 years due to mental illness, and he said, well, it's very brave of you to say that, very brave. It's not brave really, is it? It's just a bunch of words. But I think he was also rushing, hurrying me on. Yeah, and the next thing, and then by the way, he had somebody who was actually monitoring him from outside the charity, so I don't know, they were sort of, I think he might have been a bit nervous. Anyway, I'm talking, I say, yeah, and I'm a qualified counsellor, and I do hypnosis online, and then the door opened and somebody walked in, like a new person that was late. And all the attention went to that person, and no, oh, excuse me, wait a second, to me, just completely ignored me. And then moved on to the next person. Didn't even let me finish, And then again, there was one bloke, he said, I'm interested in counselling for people with cancer, because this was about the hospice. He said, because a family member died of cancer, passed away of cancer. And the bloke in charge says, let's keep this positive. Let's try and keep this positive. I really struggled to keep my mouth shut. Had it been a little bit later in the day, I would have been a bit more active, a bit more vocal, maybe. Not this time of day, because now it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, but I couldn't believe this, just talking about somebody that you cared about and loved that died from cancer. It's not negativity. It's not, you're not being negative, especially if you're in a setting of applying to volunteer with a hospice. So I waited till the break time came. They showed a couple of videos as well before that, and they were focusing on getting back to work. Volunteering is really good on your CV, it's really good for getting back to work. And pretty much hardly anybody in that room was there for that reason. There was some retired people, there was someone that was unable to work, a couple of people that were unable to work. It really wasn't aimed at the audience, I don't think. It was just box ticking, I guess, to help them to fund. You know what I said to them when I walked into the building? I said, you know what? You might get some more passing, well, I didn't say this, but I'm going to pretend I did. You might get some more passing trade if you actually had the word volunteer in the sign in your window. Because there was a sign saying what they were, but it didn't even mention the word volunteer. And I said, well, how come you've not got the word volunteer on your sign? So it's, yeah. Anyway, I left, went to the toilet, shat on the floor, and no, I didn't. As I walked out, I phoned up my friend to see if my friend was around, because I came into town with him, and I just walked away. I just couldn't. I've got birds in the attic. I can hear them like squeaking up, like, you know. That's a bird squeaking. Whatever sounds birds make. I can't even talk. Ugh. Anyway, I'm going to go. That was my day. What was strange though is I felt really grumpy, proper grumpy. Hard done by. I felt sorry for myself. And I went with my friend to the hospital. And while I was waiting for him, I got talking to a couple of elderly people. And the bloke, the husband, was quite funny, quite rude, so I was found it funny. Called me fat, and yeah, fair enough. I only just met you, but they seemed to find it hilarious. But no, we were just like chatting. And so he went in and had his blood tests, and his wife was outside, and just got talking to her. We started talking about Ant from Ant and Dec. She's been done for drink driving or whatever, and I was just saying that I can just imagine that the press are now going to hound him forever. You know, he's not going to give up. They're going to follow him every time he has a drink. They're going to hound him, and it seems like their purpose will be to hound him until he drinks too much. The way they hounded George Best and Paul Gascoigne and Amy Winehouse and you name it. There's numerous people that the press have hounded. Michael Barrymore, where they just don't stop, they're relentless. And newspapers just, it's just amazing, it's just horrible. But, and she said to me, oh, there's no point, it makes me wonder if there's any point being alive. And I was like, oh. And I had to stop and say, wait a minute, because I was just having a moan. We were just talking about Ant and Dec, and I came over all caring. It's really weird. And started saying to her, no, and her son's very, very ill. And she's, I guess going through, she is definitely going through a really, really, really difficult time. And I was just trying to, I found myself comforting her, just emotionally. And when I left, I kind of gave her a little hug and said to her, and I felt quite good that the kindness in me came out when I was not feeling very kind towards the world before that moment. And then on the way home, I'm waiting for a bus, and there was this elderly lady, a couple started talking to me, a couple of elderly ladies, one particular one with a walking stick. She sat down in front of me. She got on the bus first, sat down, and I made sure she got to sit down before the bus started. And then something fell on the floor because she put her bags on the top of the bus, not on top of the bus. She didn't climb on the top of the bus because that'd be weird. She paraglided down from a big building. No, she didn't do any of that. No crocodiles in this story either. So she just put her stuff on the side where you can put your bags and shopping and stuff. And something fell off. I didn't know if it was her, but no one else on the bus, they must have seen it because it made a clatter, noise, made a noise. No one else seemed to be bothered. So I asked her, so is that yours? She said, oh, yeah, it is. And she went to get up. I said, no, just wait, I'll get it for you. And I put it into the bag that she told me to put it in. And then something else fell out. Again, I wasn't even taking notice, but I saw it there on the floor. This time I didn't hear it, but again, there's people in front of me that were closer to it. Didn't even think about helping, nothing. So I went over and said, is this yours as well? And I readjusted the bag so that they wouldn't fall out. The stuff wouldn't fall out anymore. And I hit her with some stinging nettles. No, I didn't. I just don't understand why the other people weren't like helping. Not me. I mean, there wasn't heavy stuff to pick up. It was only like little items, but why was I the only one to notice that stuff was falling on the floor? Oh well. So I didn't feel proud of myself. I didn't rush home and dislocate my elbows so I could pat myself on the back. Nothing like that. Just so I'm closing my eyes just because I'm tired. You got to remember that most of the time, over the last 12 years I've made videos, I've had my eyes closed because I've been doing hypnosis videos. So I kind of get into that mode of just like, even though I'm talking and my brain's semi-working. Shamalina, shamalina, badabina, babadina, water, 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 water. Don't know what that was. Anyway, I'm going to go. You take care of yourselves. Today I've been working on my website. I'm quite pleased with how it's going. Been adding some new bits and a few little design changes. Yeah, I've also got my 3 new websites: free relaxation hypnosis.com, free chronic pain hypnosis.com, free sleep hypnosis.com, or something like that. They're all linked on my website. There's also there's a link on my JasonChats.com as well on the right hand side, as well as a link to my main website, jasonnewland.com. Blah blah blah. So yeah, I'm still working on everything. I think tomorrow I'm gonna start working on the podcasts and doing a bit of work on them and trying to get a bit more organised. That's kind of the plan. But I'm not going to be getting up early. I'm going to have a nice lie-in. I won't be going to bed for a couple of hours probably. Although I probably could go to bed now. Anyway, I'm going to go. Take care of yourselves, and I shall see you next time. So this is Jason Newland, and this is JasonChats.com. Leave a message if you wanna. I'm gonna go. Remember to treat yourself the way that you would like to be treated. And that might not make any sense to you, but think about it. And if it still doesn't make any sense to you, who gives a shit really? It doesn't matter, does it? Just, it's probably, it might even be pretentious of me to say it, I don't know, don't care.